friends, Kylie back with you today, otherwise known as Paper Sweetpea, and I am an independent creative memories advisor from Australia. Today is another fun Scrap With Me video where I'm collaborating with Lauren Hines, who is Craft Some Joy from the USA, and together we're going to be creating a layout featuring the brand new Golden Harvest collection from Creative Memories, which is a beautiful autumn themed collection. As always, we will both be offering a downloadable and printable set of instructions which you can purchase from each of our individual websites, and that will have all of the measurements and photo sizes that I've used in my layout today for you. And I will link everything below this video so that you can find everything easily. Be sure once you've watched my layout that you head over to Lauren's YouTube channel and see the layout that she's creating for you all. Now, unfortunately, I can't be here with you all live today, but I would still love for you to like this video and comment below. I will catch up with you all, but for now, let's get started. So I have some of my supplies here ready on my desk that I'm going to work with, and I've brought in a couple of extra tools that I'm going to create with. I have my field fence decorative border punch because I want to include a little fence border on my layout. Now, if you're familiar with the Golden Harvest collection, you know with the laser cut border pack, there was actually a really sweet fence border that came in this pack. I've actually used mine, so that's why I'm enlisting the help of my field fence border punch. I've also got the Diamond Windows Chain Border Maker cartridge. This cartridge was a part of the recent Secret Box number 3 from Creative Memories. If you don't have this Border Maker cartridge, you can of course use one similar or one that you prefer. And then I'm just going to be working with papers from both the Designer paper pack and the Tone on Tone paper pack. And I've also got some of the Bronze Shimmer cardstock. I've got my designer stickers as well as the Grid Sans ABC stickers and my laser cut embellishments. Now, if you would like to see more of this collection in detail, I have actually filmed an unboxing of when my supplies arrived, and I'll link that video below today for you all. I'm going to start just popping together my base pages, and I've selected this really lovely dark wood grain effect for my base page, and you're going to need 2 of these because I am creating a double page layout. And then I've selected 4 papers from both the Designer and the Tone on Tone paper packs that I'm going to create a panelled effect. So I'm going to bring in my 12-inch trimmer and we'll do some cutting first. From this lovely green, I'm going to cut 2 strips, and I need them both to be 1 inch wide by 10.5 inches long. So I can place these 2 strips together, and we need to cut them to 10.5 inches long. So I'm just going to line that up there nice and even. Next, from this yellow paper, I'm going to trim 1 strip to be 3 inches wide. And again, we want that to be 10.5 inches long. I'm going to use the same measurement for this lovely denim print paper. This is one of my most favourite papers from this collection. So again, 3 inches wide and 10.5 inches long. I'm going to cut this one to be 2 inches wide, but again 10.5 inches long. And that's all the cutting we need to do for now. Now these pieces of papers that I've cut are for one of my background pages. So you're going to have to repeat this process, but I'm only going to put together one side of my layout on camera today just to save a little bit of time. So you will need to repeat that step for your second background page. So I've brought in the beautiful chocolate wood grain paper and I've just aligned it nice and neatly on my mat, and I'm going to start positioning all of these strips into place. Now I'm going to line the edge of this strip to the right hand side of my page, because this essentially will be the center of my 2-page layout, and I'm going to attach that 1 inch down from the top up against this right hand side of my page, like so. So next I'll come in with the denim print paper, and I'm going to align that directly below the green strip. Next I'm going to come in with my orange paper, and I'm just going to check that I have it directionally going the right way for the print on my page. And next I'll place the yellow. These colours really pop up against the dark background paper that we're using there. And then we're going to have our final piece, which is of course the green. And it will finish 1 inch from the bottom as well. Like so. Now I've brought in some of the bronze shimmer cardstock here, and I'm just going to place my little border maker cartridge into the housing bracket, and we can insert our cardstock, and I'm just going to punch along one edge. Which will leave me with this beautiful border strip. I'll just get all my little pieces of confetti out of the way from my desk. And again, you will need to punch 2 of these for both pages. Now I know this length, or the distance for my panelled pieces here, is 10 inches because we have 1 inch to the top and bottom of our border. That means I need to cut down my border strip because I'd like it to tuck in underneath so that we're just seeing that little bit of our border showing. So what I'm going to do is just trim 2 inches off one length, and that works out perfectly for the design because it's trimming at the end of one of our little diamonds, and I'm just going to neaten that edge so we don't have that little corner showing. That's a minor little detail, but just to keep it nice and neat. And I'm going to add just a little bit of repositionable tape just to 1/2 of the length that's going to be tucked in underneath. And we just need to carefully lift our papers just a little, like so. Just to add that lovely little delicate frilly edge down the side of our page. So that pretty well has our background in place. What I'm actually going to do now off camera is I'll go ahead and just repeat that step to complete my right hand side page. The only thing different that I'm going to do is, of course, line up my strips on the left side of my background page so that these panels will all meet up into the middle. Now you can see I've completed my right hand side page, and it is mirror image to our left, and all of our paneling meets in the middle. So it's time that I can start talking photos, and I've got quite a few photos for this layout. I've already trimmed them down and cut some mats for them, and I've used the bronze shimmer cardstock for the mats as well, and I just think it's a nice carry through of that colour to have the border the same colour as what my photo mats are. Now all the measurements for the photos, the photo mats, are all in my printable instructions that are on my website, but basically I've allowed for a 6x4 and a 4x4 on my left page. But what I'd like to do is I'd like to use some of the peekaboo pockets and just add some extra photos over the top of some. And then for my right hand side page, I've allowed for 2 4x4 photos. I've got a 3x4 and a 6x4. I'll just move those over a little bit there. And a 6x4. And then I'm going to use another peekaboo pocket because I have another 2 photos that I would like for this photo to have sort of a little flip up pocket there on top of. So that's my basic plan for my photo positioning. Before I start getting them into place, so I do want to work on my little country fence border, and the idea is just to have some detailing through the center of my layout, and then I'm going to have a large title and some embellishment clusters to the top here. So that's my basic plan. Now I had some of this lovely lighter wood grain effect paper left over from another project. I know that that's not a full 12 inches across because it's been cut down, but as I mentioned, I'm not going to be having a full border that runs across the page, so I'm going to use up this spare paper that I have. I'm just going to insert that into my border punch and punch, and then it's just a matter of lining that up here to the side and punching all the way through. And once I've got this punched, I'll be able to line everything up better and know where I can position my photos. But basically, I don't want the fence to run all the way across. I do want to trim it down just a little. Just going to cut it straight down to remove that, like so. And just the same for this one. We're just cutting away that last little bit. Okay, so that has our fence in place. So now we can work on positioning our photos, and I'm going to go ahead and add them to my background. So we'll start with this side. Okay, so I've tried to keep my spacing between the 2 photos here on the left. The spacing here is, I've just eyeballed it of course, is fairly well similar to what's in between our other photos. I've got my set of 3 decorative stickers here. I'm not going to need the borders for this layout, so I can set those aside. But we've got some really happy little phrases and some lovely icons that we can add to our page. So basically, kind of mimicking what the decorative laser cut border was, I'm just going to add some cute little pumpkins and leaves down the bottom here. So I'll start by layering some leaves first. And I'm also going to use just some foam squares so that we can have a little bit of dimension within our layout. I'm just going to tuck these leaves in behind the pumpkin, and I'm going to add the yellow pumpkin over the top, and this is where I'll use my foam squares so that it's layered. I can add that just slightly to the side. And then we've got the green pumpkin here. I'm actually even wondering whether or not to add some more leaves. I'm just going to add the mirror reverse, I think, with the leaves. I'll layer some of the different coloured leaves, and then we can add our other pumpkin down the bottom here. And again, I'll use the foam squares for that. And I think I'll add this cute little banner sticker here into the side, our happy place. Okay, now I do want to add a title up here into this left side, and this is where I'm going to work with the Grid Sans ABC stickers. And I think I'll just move this second page out of the way for now so we can work the center there. Just going to bring in my Faithful Creative Memories ruler that I have here, and I'm just going to align the edge to the side of my layout here, and that way that I know my lettering is going to be going down straight. And I think I'm going to use the uppercase letters of these stickers, and I think on the denim it's going to stand out really well. So we'll create our title, and it's going to be Family Together. Now, because I'm working up against this edge here, I'm actually going to start with the end of my word with my lettering, and that way I know that I can space it evenly so I'm not going to run off the page. So I'm spelling backwards, you could say. So there we have our first word in place, and now I can just line up my ruler just above the word together there, align it with the side, and I know I can get my other first title into place. Okay, so that has our title in place. Now we can start adding our little clusters of embellishments. I'm going to bring in the little laser cut embellishments. I absolutely love these little tree stumps, I guess you'd call them. They've got the gold foiling to them, so I'm thinking I could add some here to the top of our photos, and then layer some of the really cute icons over the top with some leaves in behind. Might add our other leaves here. Can tuck that in underneath. Might add the little acorn stickers over the top there. Add the days to remember little subtitle phrase there as well. Like so. Okay, so I've gone and done a little switcheroo. I decided that I didn't like the photo that I had in this position here. So I've swapped my photo, and the plan was obviously to have my peekaboo pocket there. But then I really love where I've put my pumpkins, and a peekaboo pocket obviously isn't going to work too well on that one because I would cover up my cute little pumpkin. So what I've decided is I'm going to put a little peekaboo pocket on my 4x4 photo. I do have some of the 4x4 peekaboo pockets from a recent promotion, and I'm going to have the smaller photo on this side as my little peekaboo, and then I'm still going to have my 6x4 here with another of the variety mats beneath the photo. So, and I like that arrangement much better. I didn't really want to spread my pumpkins out. I like that cluster in the middle, and I didn't think my peekaboo pocket's just not going to work. So nothing like changing your mind midway through. So what I'm just going to do, obviously I need to trim down my card here to fit the 4x4, and so that I keep the graphics centered, I'm going to cut a neat inch off each side so that we keep the writing centered on our card. And then we can add that to the back of our photo, and that will slide straight into our peekaboo pocket. Like so. And then that one will sit over the top of this photo. And then I have my other one here in the 6x4, and it's just important when you've got your photo on top, you know you've got to put the back upside down so that when you lift up the peekaboo pocket, everything will be facing the right way. I'll just check which way my adhesive is. It's that way. So I know I need to position everything, just line everything up nicely, my photo and my card. You can adhere the photo to the back of the card if you choose, if you wish. That way my little peekaboo will go over the top of that photo. Okay, so to finish off, we just need to add our final cluster up here. And I'd like to add a little bit of journaling. What I've gone ahead and done is I've actually just typed out on some photo safe paper what I want to write. And I'm going to cut these into strips, and I really like the aesthetic of that, of having just the strips of journaling added to a page. You don't necessarily need a typewriter to do this. You can just do this on your computer at home and print it out. Okay, so that has them all trimmed out, and I'm just going to add a couple more little embellishments for balance. Yes, so we can start adhering these into place. I'm actually going to start with this middle strip since it's the longest, because I want to be able to center everything to it to have it nice and even. And I might add this one with some foam adhesive squares just to the top there. Alrighty, so I'm ready now to place these pages into the page protectors, and we can then add our peekaboo pockets. Now everybody is different when it comes to their page protectors. I actually like to use the 12x12 top loading pocket pages, so it's only got the binding here just on one side. When I have a layout front and back to one of these pocket pages, I will remove this cardboard insert, but for now I'm just going to slide each page over the top of that. I'm sorry for any glare that you're going to get from my overhead lighting. And then I can add my second page here as well. So they've come together nicely. That adhesive backing. And just adhering that to the top of our photo. And if you want to just move it up ever so slightly, you can. That will peel off okay. And then when you're happy with the position of that, I just like to get my multi-purpose tool and give that a little bit of burnishing there just to flatten it down. They really are quite invisible, the strips, once you have everything in place where you want them. Make sure my card is lined up to my photo. There we go. So that's added our extra photo to this page now. And I can add my 4x4 to this size. I really do love this little compact size. So I'm just going to again peel off the backing strip, adhere this into place as well. I'll just let it rub with my tool. So that's completed my 2-page design for today with the Autumn Harvest collection, and it has the fun little interactive elements. What began with me wanting to add lots of photos, I've actually skimmed it all down, but I still really do love having that interactive element with the little cards in place. And you've seen how I like to add my journaling and how much I love a big title as well. I'm really happy with how that's come together. So there we have another layout all completed. I hope you've enjoyed watching me create today. Don't forget to head on over and check out Lauren's YouTube channel now and see the pages that she's created for you all. And if you're in Australia and interested in any of the Creative Memories products you've seen me working with today, I will link the website below where you can check them all out. But for now, we will see you next time. Take care.